Yo, what's good, YouTube, man? It's Gary with the Fan TV back at another video. Like the content in this video, go smash that like button. Like the content in this channel, go hit subscribe, man. Look, so the Ravens dropped some big news today, right? They have decided to cut Justin Tucker after 13 years as a Raven. All right. This news comes in light of obviously all of the serious allegations against Justin Tucker, right? So let's talk about Justin Tucker, right? Now, 8-time All-Pro, 7-time Pro Bowler, 2010s All-Decade Team. Widely regarded as one of, if not the greatest kicker of all time. 89% accuracy, right? All those stats I got from Adam Schefter on the tweet I might put on the screen right here. Okay, so all-time great kicker, right? Who had a slide at the end of the last year, and it was even sliding 2 seasons ago as well, right? But it really came to fruition last season, okay? But then this offseason, multiple allegations, right? A lot of allegations came against Justin Tucker of a very, very serious nature, all right? We're talking about real allegations of inappropriate sexual behaviors, okay? And that really put Justin Tucker in the spotlight again of now you're not only a liability as far as what you're doing on the field, you're a liability off the field from all these issues that were happening in the past, right? So the Ravens decided to cut him. But it's interesting how we get to this point, okay? Because, for a long time, right, throughout this offseason, the Ravens made it very clear that when we cut Justin Tucker, it's going to be a football decision, right? Even they said so today that this decision to get rid of Justin Tucker was a football decision. But do you really believe that on face value? I'm not sure I do, okay? Yes, the Ravens are going to cut Justin Tucker. It's going to be a post-June 1 cut. So he's going to save the Ravens some cap salary and making that cut post-June 1. But to me, it doesn't feel like it's about that, right? Now, listen, the Ravens in the part of this offseason said that when we evaluate the kicker position, it's going to be about competition. It's going to be about who's the better kicker. We may draft a kicker to get some more competition in here, things like that, right? And they drafted Tyler Loop out of Arizona, okay? 100% understandable. Let's have a real kicking competition. Up until the end of, at the last draft presser, right? Draft press conference, right? They were saying that, yeah, Justin Tucker, Tyler Loop is a kicker competition, right? So now all of a sudden they decide to cut Tucker with seeing Tyler Loop kick for what? A couple days. I mean, we know it's been rookie mini camp, right? That's been going on. Some of the guys out there looking impressive, but that can't be the reason. Oh yeah, we saw him kick for 2 days in person. I mean, I'm sure they had Randy Brown. He was scouting all the kickers all around the country, whatever. But now all of a sudden we're just deciding to cut Justin Tucker, right? Because if that was the case, you could cut Justin Tucker a while ago, right? There was no reason to wait until now, right? I mean, that to me, that's why it makes it a strange decision, right? It's absolutely the right decision, right? The Ravens are supposed to be an organization that has a zero tolerance policy for these kind of things, right? When these allegations come about, they're taking it into the very, very serious nature, and they move forward without you, right? That's how it's supposed to be, the Ravens organization, right? I think about another Ravens great whose career ended in infamy was, Ray Rice, right? Ray Rice had the very shocking video that came out. These situations are different, but Ray Rice still had a situation that came out that put himself in a very, very poor light. Terrible decision, horrible decision. And he was cut from the Ravens, which effectively ended his NFL career, right? For Justin Tucker, it may be the same thing, right? If a team takes on Justin Tucker, they have to be very, very comfortable with where the case is going. But this very, very well may end Justin Tucker's NFL career, all right? Now, Ray Rice has done a bunch of things in the Baltimore community since then, right? Trying to make amends for the past and whatnot. He's coaching football. He's helping the youth out. He's doing a lot of great things, right? But you can't change the past and those mistakes. Some of those mistakes that, especially for Ray Rice, was seen on camera. Now for Tucker, we don't have that. But it's a hard time. It's hard for me to believe that this decision was 100% based on, Tyler Loop, you're the kicker, right? Because now he is the kicker for the Ravens, right? Tyler Loop has now officially won the job until the Ravens sign a veteran to compete in training camp, right? Which I feel like they will. I have a hard time believing the Ravens are just going to have a 6th-round pick kicker, no competition, it's yours. I have a hard time believing that, right? So to me, the Ravens can say that, this is for football decisions, football reasons. But to me, it feels like maybe there was some type of break in the case and, it was time to get rid of him now, right? The Ravens are supposed to have a very, very serious policy when it comes to these kind of things. And, the last couple of months, they've put doubt in a lot of fans' minds, right? Mine included, right? I mean, you think about the Ravens, the history of drafting, high character guys, things like that. They draft Mike Green, right? Mike Green had very, very serious allegations against him, still has very, very serious allegations against him. And the Ravens said that they feel comfortable with the investigation. They feel comfortable with what their people found, that we're going to draft Mike Green in the second round of 59. All right. Mike Green was a guy that, if he doesn't have his allegations, he's completely clean through the process. He probably goes top 15, top 20 at the latest. Okay. So, you get a bona fide first round pick in the second round, but it comes at the cost of, he had some very, very serious things against him. Right. So in these last couple of months, right, the Ravens, that shield of, morality that they had up, but we don't deal with this, we don't deal with that, it's starting to lose a little bit of the shine on it. Right. So it makes me wonder, right? Maybe they felt like they couldn't have Mike Green and Justin Tucker on the team at the same time. It's a bad look. I don't know, right? Because I have a hard time believing that all of a sudden, that after everything you've been saying, that Eric Cox has been saying repeatedly, that and it's his job. Part of his job is lying to the media, whatever. But that has been saying repeatedly that, yeah, this is going to be a competition, right? We're going to see what these kickers got, and it's going to be a purely based football decision. Justin Tucker and Tyler Loop have barely been any time together for this to be a purely football decision, right? So you can say it's for the money, you can say it's for the cap, but I just have a hard time believing that, and that's just my honest opinion about it. I think the Ravens looked at the situation and said that we want to be a team that is supposed to have this kind of standard, because this is what all that we've talked about. So it's hard to justify having two guys on our team that have terrible conduct allegedly against women on our team, right? It's hard to have that, right? So we'll see what happens from here. But Justin Tucker has been cut by the Ravens. Ravens decided to let him go, and this is an all-time great Raven that his career is going to be looked at very, very differently, right? Justin Tucker was a guy. What is it? May, 5 months ago is walking into the Hall of Fame. Right now, does he ever get in? Right, we'll see what happens with these allegations and where they go. But everything has changed right on his head from how he's viewed in his entire career. And really, the football part aspect of it really isn't important, right? Because if these allegations are true, then it's really sickening. Point blank, period. Right? That's just how I feel about it. So, for the Ravens, they go forward. Right, they go forward with Tyler Loop, a rookie, as their kicker, and they're going to maybe sign a veteran. We'll see where they go from here, and that will be the real kicker competition. But they say that this Josh Tucker was cut for football decisions. I'm not buying it, and that's just my personal opinion about it. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Right, Justin Tucker was cut today. Like I said, 13 seasons with the Ravens, 8-time All-Pro, 7-time Pro Bowler. One of the greatest kickers in NFL history. Likely is going to have his career ended with a very, very black mark on his resume. So give me your thoughts in the comments, man. But it's Gary Rogers on Fan TV. I'm out.